Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I'm working on a 6x12 single page layout for Brussels. We arrived in the evening, basically just checked into our hotel, got settled, took a look at what was around, and we decided we were too tired to really go out anywhere by that point. And we were just going to eat in the restaurant. There were several restaurants in our hotel. We stayed at the Grand Place Radisson in Brussels. And one of the restaurants right in there had very good reviews, and it was called Shanghai Kitchen. So we decided we were just going to go there because we like that genre of food. It was easy right downstairs, and just a fun choice too to kind of get a feel for the hotel. It's the one and only, to my knowledge, 5-star hotel I've ever stayed in. So it was kind of fun just to like be in a little awe and hang out there for the evening. So when I'm putting this together, I think I probably want something where I can at least do a little bit of journaling to talk about that, like why we chose it. If I can't fit that in there, it's fine. But it was certainly something I was thinking about. But then obviously I have a lot of food. So I did grab out food things here. So I have those that I can go through. I also have a whole bin of Asian themed things. So I may have to pull stuff out of there to find something to fit with this. But that's really all I have. And I just remembered I do need to journal because I ordered this and it was so good that I ordered a second round and we shared it, but it was so good. Like one order was not enough. So I think I do need a little bit of journaling here in order to talk about that. I've pulled a couple of things already just from my food stuff things here that I had at the ready, and this is more of a takeout thing, but I'm wondering if maybe I can just use a couple cookies in there. I'm not sure. Even these like little flavor packets from the soy sauce might be kind of fun, and they're red, and I do have red happening, so I'm hanging on to those. I forgot that I had these, and at this point I was still able to have alcohol. I wasn't on my new medication yet where I can't have that. So we did enjoy some very nice drinks while we were at dinner. And I've had these fancy drink stickers for a while and no occasion to use them. And I think like this one might be a good match, or even the martini. Lots of the colors here might work. Even this green one here would look good with this. So I think I definitely want to use those. But it may require me to end up making my own journal card. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just take out my generic cards and I separate them by sort of category, if you will. When I have them in their container, the first part is all cards where they're specific for journaling. Then the next section is just background type cards, like that have patterns, but you wouldn't be able to journal on them. And then the third section is filler cards that have like large phrases that you can just drop in and you don't have to do anything else to them. So I think I'm going to just start by taking out all of my cards that are made for journaling, and I do them in the color of the rainbow. That's the order they go in. So I'm just gonna have to go through here and see, do I have something color wise that might work? Phrase wise, like this one, the color would be great, but I don't want this phrase on there. So I will have to look through here and maybe pick something and then make sure that there's enough room to also fit these on there. So I went through all of the normal journal cards I had, and then I remembered as I was looking through the black and white ones, I thought, oh, I like the black and white, that would go well here. I remembered that I actually had some that might work in my food cards specifically. And I found this one and I think I want to use it. And it works on several levels. It is black and white. There's a little gray in the background, but there's gray here and here. So it's a neutral that I think would be fine. And so I have that going for it. It is Asian food, and we did have chopsticks, but as you can see, there are also utensils there. This would only be for my daughter and myself to get it, but I love that that's on there because we had a whole conversation while we were at dinner about the fact that I could not use chopsticks then because my RA at that point was so bad. I wasn't on the medication I'm on now. My RA was so bad in my hands, like it hurt to try to do the right grip to use chopsticks. I tried hard, for like 10 minutes I was struggling, and I'm like, I can't do it. It hurts so much that I can't do it. So I had to use my regular silverware. So it's an interesting memory that I'll think of when I look at this. So it's just another reason why I love this card. So I have that. And I'm not thrilled about the fact that when I put these on, you'll probably be able to see some lines through there, but whatever, I'll work around it. The other option is I might find something that goes in this pocket where I can use it where it doesn't obstruct anything. Since I haven't found that yet, who knows? It could happen. The other option is I could put one of these maybe here. I don't want that right on top of a drink, but I can shift these photos. They don't have to be where they are. Maybe this one I want to keep in the top row because it shows, you know, whoops, where we were. But the rest of these, it's a state of flux. They can move. It'll be fine. So I think I'm just going to play around with what I've got, figure out where these will work, and I'll go from there. Well, when all else fails, you make your own card. I think that's what I'm going to do. I found a gray background that's just plain that I can use. And then I had this in my Asian bin. I love the style of it. I love the green. It goes well. I haven't quite figured out yet like how to layer it to get this on there. But if that doesn't work, I've got the darker brown one, cream color. This I could maybe get away with because it's mostly clear and a little green. I do have brown tones in there, so I don't know. I'm just going to start cutting this stuff and hopefully be able to put something together. All right, I've cut down that piece of paper. It started as a 6x12, and so I just cut off a 4x6 piece from the top at first because that allows me to still have a 6x8 that I can use. And then with the chunk that I cut that was 4x6, I cut that in half so I can save a 3x4 card as well. And then I was left with a 3x4. I cut this off. I cut this down to 2.5 inches, and that's how I ended up there. And I was able to save both of these options to use on another project. So I love to save paper when I can. And I think I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to probably layer it in the middle and then put some of these drinks over it. I don't think I'm going to end up using these. I thought maybe I would, but now I think no. So I'll put that on there and then I'll just start layering and decide what I think of it. On my desk, I tend to keep a pile of stuff like labels and things that I have cut into, and then I have pieces left over. I tend to just throw them in a pile on the left side of my desk, and then they just sit there and eventually they get used. I had this one sitting there that I cut for something else, and I realized that's a pretty good gray for what I've got going. So I think I'm actually going to take that, tuck it under here, so it'll go up here, and then I'm going to layer the first drink on it. So it can't be the green because that's too much green to do it that way without anything else. So I need the pop of color. So I'm considering this one actually because look how nicely that goes with that. I think that might bring in a nice pop, but then I'm also worried like they're right next to each other. So I might go with this one. I think I'm just going to tape them or take them off, hold it up, and see what I think. I've completed the card up here, I think. I went with that. I loved this one overlapped, but then I added one in that had some red in it, the martini glass, and then I did put in the green. And I was worried it would be too close, but I like it. So I think that one is probably good. If I do anything else, I might splatter a little black on it just because like I feel like the black is missing a little, but I can do that at the end. And I think I'm also going to do a little label down here. There's a lot of dead space. So I'm going to just take an empty label, put it on there, and then I'm going to overlap this other drink that I liked here that matches this. Because I have black and white in lots of places, I've decided to do black and white here, and I think that once I have it on there, this will show up better when that's sitting like that. I do also think I'm probably going to try to snip off that blue umbrella because there is no blue here. I mean, I guess there's a tiny bit right there, but that's it. So if I put it on there and decide like that it's distracting, I'm probably just going to cut that off. All right, there we have it. I added on the blank label and then I put this on. I did decide that I didn't like the umbrella, so I just snipped that off as close to the top as I could, and I don't think you can really tell. I do feel like this is a little blank here. So I'm going to just put in a staple, as I often do, just to liven it up a little bit. And let's look at what I've got here. Is this enough? This kind of feels blank to me right here, but I don't know what else I would do because I've already got this busyness happening. So I feel like between these at opposite ends and this with stuff that I probably should leave it alone. The only thing I might consider, actually, now that I say that, is a phrase. I know I have black and white food related phrases. Let me look at that off camera and I'll be back. I think I have picked out one more thing to do. This little phrase right up here that says, let's stay in. Now, normally you'd probably use that for eating at home, but here it works because we chose to stay in the hotel rather than traipsing around the city and trying to find something else. So I think that works. I would have preferred if it was a white background with black writing. However, I think there's a nice enough contrast here that it will be okay. I could actually even, maybe I should center it. Was gonna go left, but this is to the right, so I think if I center this, it's not bad. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then this is probably done. All right, there it is after it's been glued on there. I used my mono liquid glue, and when I see these all together, I'm happy with this. I really like it, and I think that's probably all I need to do. Oh, I lied. You know what? I'm looking at this. I don't have a lot of green over here. It's all lined up here. Can I switch these? I don't like these next to each other. Shoot. Could I add one of these small glasses over here? Those two are kind of too similar in color, I think. Ooh, what about the little brown? Nope, that doesn't have a green line. Maybe it's going to have to be this one. Let's see. I mean, I don't think it would look horrible. And it does have the red in there. I'll peel it up quickly if I don't like it. Is that enough green? You know what? I don't actually mind it. All right, well, crisis averted then. We're going to stay with that. Now it's really done. So here's another one finished for Brussels. Thanks for watching.